Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Teen Hour. So this week is going to be the very last kit that we will be doing for the month of June, and also through summer reading. The plan currently is to not have any kits for teens during the summertime, but we will get more into that next week. I'll do a little announcement video about what to expect for summer reading. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and dive into this week's program. So this week's program is we're doing some loom weaving. We are going to first make our own loom, and then we're going to do our own weaving. So the idea behind this is going to be just like an easy wall decoration. This is just to kind of get you started with the idea of weaving. If you guys really enjoy this program and want to do a little bit more of this, you can easily adapt this to do like larger hangings, potentially making your own larger looms, even still out of cardboard. There are lots of kind of DIY tutorials online about it, but this is just to get us started. So if you guys came to pick up kits this week, you will have found different colors of yarn. So the cream colored yarn is what we're going to use as our base here. And then you will have found 3 other colors of yarn with 2 strands for each color. And that's what we're going to do with this weaving here. Something that you guys are going to need to get from your yard is you'll need to get a stick. This is a pretty small stick. It's not even a foot long. Again, it's a small project. And you guys are going to need some scissors. You guys are going to need some kind of marker or pen. And you guys might want to get a box cutter. It kind of depends on if you want to make your cardboard smaller or not. It just depends on the size of weaving that you want to do. I just stuck a piece of cardboard in your kit that I thought was a good approximate size, and you can make it smaller. So that's what we're going to do. And the first thing we need to do is we actually need to put together our cardboard backing. So excuse me, for the cardboard backing, the instructions are on your instruction sheet in your kit. What the instructions will ask you to do is they will ask you to measure out 8 little ticks that are about 1/2 inch apart from each other. So you're going to want to do that at the top. You can see that here, and you're going to see it at the bottom too. So you guys can also notice that there's a fold here. So not only are you measuring the ticks about 1/2 inch apart, this fold is also going to be 1/2 inch wide. So you just fold that at 1/2 inch. And you're gonna do that on both sides, so you need top and bottom. And then go ahead and cut out those 1/2 inch tick marks, because as you guys can see, those pieces at the top and the bottom are going to hold your yarn in place so that you can actually do the weaving. So once you have your cardboard all set, we actually need to put the yarn in the cardboard. So as you guys can see, my yarn is already in my cardboard, but I'm gonna walk you through how I got to this point. So now's the time that you're going to grab that stick. I'm going to show you, just flip this over. This is the stick that I use. It's just from the oak tree outside of the library. You guys can see that I used a little loop to attach it. I forget the name of this loop, but basically what you're going to do is you will take the ends of your yarn, and they'll be about even. This is a little bit off, but go ahead and put your ends together so there's a loop on the top of your yarn. And then you're going to just feed the ends through the loop and then tie it tight so that it's hanging like that. You guys see that right there. So yeah, this is the loop, and this is where the tail went through, and it ends up going through here. So you're gonna do that all the way to the top. Like I said, you should have 8, and they should all go through the marks on your cardboard. And then once you have your strands safely in place, this is when you're actually going to start weaving. So I'm gonna bring this a little bit closer to the camera. You're gonna start, it doesn't really matter what corner you start at. I started at the top left corner here. You can see the tail of my weaving. And you're just going to go under the first one, over the second, under the third, and so on. So that it makes kind of like an over-under pattern. And then once you get to the end, you're gonna do the opposite. So as you guys can see, on this side, I started by going underneath of the white strand, and then when I got to this side, I actually went over that outside strand. So it's gonna be alternating. And so you guys can see I did a few rows here, and then this is where I started to run out of my first string. So this is the part I wanted to show you. So when you guys run out of your string, you guys can actually just tie the other string to it, and then you'll pull it like that. And then it's almost disappeared, but then you can just go over it again. And I'm gonna actually show you how to do some weaving. So I'm under this side, bringing it over, the one on the end, under this one, over and under, over and under, over and under. There we go. And you can pull it so it's a little bit loose, kind of push it up towards the top, and then just push it down so that you can hide where you tied your string. All right, and that's how you're gonna do it. And again, you're just gonna alternate, go on the other side. Do one more for you. If your stuff starts to get loose, you just pull it at the bottom. Again, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. And then you just pull it tight. There you go. And that is what you're going to do. And then, as you guys can see, up at the top here, I have some room, obviously, like if I were to pull that out, there's gonna be some room there. You guys can actually just like scooch your weaving up so that it is closer to the top if you would like it to be closer. And then once you have it all done, say I only got to here on my weaving, you would just tie a knot at the end, and then you'd have these long tassels, and then you can just cut the tassels for however short you want it to be. And then this extra tail here, my tail that's left over, you can actually just tuck that under one of your woven strands. Oops, if you can get it. The only problem is yarn is sometimes a little bit hard to grab because you end up grabbing a bunch of little strands. Perfect. You can actually just tuck it under and then just snip it at the top so that way this little tail isn't hanging out. And that is going to be the final product. So if you guys stick around for the end of the video, you will see my final product, and you guys can change it as much as you want. You can make it as long or short as you want it to be. I included a total of 6 different strands for your weaving, but if you guys have some yarn at home that you want to add to it, you go for it. Again, this is just to kind of introduce you to this fun craft activity, and it's also kind of nice because it's a little bit relaxing because you're doing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes having a repetitive craft to do can be nice. Hey guys, so I wanted to quickly tell you about the program that we are going to be doing next week. So the Loom craft for this week is our last our last kit program for the month of June, and next week is actually our last teen program for the month of June. We are going to be taking a really quick break, about 3 weeks, so that I can get ready for summer reading. So we are going to have an outdoor in-person program next week, and we're going to be playing some games. So if you guys came to the Donut Social, awesome. It was so wonderful to see all you guys. It's going to be kind of the same thing where we are going to be hanging out in the north parking lot, which is the parking lot next to the teen area, and we'll just have some outdoor games, we'll have some snacks, we'll just be able to hang out and just spend some time together before summer gets started. So if you would like to join us next week, make sure you come by the library at 3:30, and we will be here until 4:30. So if you guys are arranging like rides with parents or siblings, make sure they know to come back to the library to get you at 4:30. And yeah, we'll just have fun and hang out. Masks are required, so even though we're going to be outside, we're going to have you guys wear masks if you're not eating snacks. But yeah, we had a lot of fun last week, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun next week. Okay guys, I'll see you then.